Cancer, hey, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to be here with you always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy for the next few weeks or so via the tarot astrology, any channeled messages that come through. And I'll also incorporate some Ayurvedic or holistic wellness practices that we can implement in order to strengthen our optimal functioning body, mind, and soul. So let's get into it. Cancer, it has been a crazy few weeks. We have been in the throes of just like a lot of astrological transits that have bring up some tension, some frustration. We're in the middle of Leo season. We are having a new moon in Leo, solar eclipse. We're starting a new solar eclipse or a new eclipse season, for the next 6 months. So we're closing out the one from the last 6 months, starting a new one. We have 3 planets in retrograde, and there's just been a lot of tension in the air. There's just been a lot of competing forces. We're seeing that through the astrology with the air and fire element. Definitely pride, ego kind of taking a front focus, and needing to temper that with the intelligence, with the intellect, the way that we actually process through what is happening. Making sure that we're not putting too much stock or reliance in the ego. Yes, we all need our ego. It puts us front and center, and it really empowers us to do amazing things in our life. But we also want to make sure that we're not bulldozing people over, right, in the process. There is this call to having mindfulness, having awareness, cognizance, and understanding for who and what you are dealing with. And it's not always easy, right? Because Leo is a season where we like to shine bright, and we like our gifts, our beauty, the essence of who we are to be known. And we want it to be well received, right? We want the people around us to be just as excited about who we are as we are, right? And not everyone is going to be, unfortunately. That's some of the rub that we've definitely been coming into. And so we're figuring out new ways, or we're finding new understandings around relationships, situations in our life, what they actually mean, what they authentically look like. Certain cycles are closing out that need to be, right? It's stuff that's good. Patterns are being destroyed in order so we can evolve and be better versions of ourselves. Not all the destruction is bad, but it definitely has been enlivening a lot of tension with it along the way. So that's why I like to start the readings off with an energy cleansing, just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places we might feel blocked or limited. It's a really good time to set your own intention for the reading as well, especially if you have come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a really great way to personalize these collective readings. If it's not your vibe, you can also totally skip ahead. I put the chapters down below, and you'll definitely receive all the good vibes, all the blessings always. I also offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're interested in more of a realignment of self, your body, your mind, your soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. Because when we are aligned in self, that's really where we're tapping into our happiness, our fulfillment, our abundance. And I would love to help support you in that in whatever way possible. You totally deserve to embody those things, Cancer. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. I am working on my website, but until then, shoot me an email and I would love to connect with you. All right, with that, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. Mama Love. Amen. All right, Cancer. I'm hearing you're like trying not to take something personally. I'm seeing you like watch something happen, watch something unfold in your life. It doesn't feel like a direct attack. That's not how you're receiving it. but it does feel like there might be some like below the belt undertones that it's hard not to be like, is this meant to be an attack? Like, you know, someone might not be saying it right to your face, but they're kind of like talking some shit about something you do, or, you know, it has a little bit of a wiry vibe to it is what I'm picking up. You might be dealing with someone who is a little bit fiery, or just, you know, giving you a piece of their mind. Okay, so patience is in the overarching energy. So it is kind of hard right now because we really want to make sure that, like I was talking about, like the ego is not being too much of the main decision maker right now. The way that Mars is tensely aspected with Neptune, Black Moon Lilith, and the vertex point, it's easy to kind of and it just moved into Cancer. So it's easy to kind of like let things rub us the wrong way, or, you know, be a little bit more paranoid, fearful of what someone's true intentions are, or also like buying into a fantasy that someone's selling. And I am hearing on some level, you are trying to protect yourself. You have the void for the beginning of, you know, whenever this energy resonates for you, where it feels like something's a little bit empty, or you're not really sure how something's going to shape out quite yet. Again, I'm seeing you not want to assume. So I think that's good. You're keeping it positive. You're keeping it above board, but you are getting some types of hints and signals about what you need to do along the way. And like, it feels like Spirit's kind of asking you to get creative. Especially like, it's important to listen to what's being said to us is what I'm hearing. So making sure that you're not just sweeping things under the rug, or if you're getting an adverse reaction, pay attention to that. Because it does look like there is something that you have to be a little bit more like tempered around. Okay, so we have the Sage. Interesting. I'm curious as to whether this is... Okay, the Sage is wisdom, right? Like gaining wisdom, gaining insight, maybe even insight that like you don't have access to right in this moment in time. But I'm also interested if part of this is like your own wisdom from within. As much as, yes, there is, I don't know if it's a need, but like a recommendation maybe. In the places that we're trying to kind of force certain things and it's not the time, we're not super ready. It's not even about you not being ready. It's more about like the universe. It's more about divine timing. Like certain things needing to play out, certain things needing to line up appropriately. And that's why this patience is really important for you for this next period of time, instead of just assuming, or and I don't really get the vibe that you want to, but I also kind of feel like you're, I don't know, like you're kind of left feeling absent, or like you don't know what to do, or it's hard to figure out how you can create from this space. Maybe you feel really empty. Maybe you feel like you don't really have a lot to offer or give, or it's been such a long time that you've actually tried to like invest in something and now it's coming back around again and you're not really sure how prepared you are. But I think you're actually more prepared than what you even give yourself credit for. There might be a little bit of apathy this week. Like it might just be a little bit like you don't really want to do it. So you're not really putting energy into it. No shade, Cancer. I get it. Because again, Mars is in his feels, especially with that value of like Neptune, Black Moon Lilith, the vertex point. I'm getting the Seven of Pentacles and the Moon. And that really talks about like being put in this waiting game, and that waiting game is, it almost becomes detrimental, because then we start thinking about things and obsessing, or like, you know, the same thing over and over and over again, and it might just not be true. If anything, there's this energy encouraging or inspiring you to create, to get creative, which feels like it helps take you out of this void. But the void might feel a little bit comfortable, or maybe whatever you are waiting on, you know, it's easy to kind of put everything else on the back burner as you're waiting for this thing. And it doesn't look like that's necessarily true. If anything, it feels like you might be a little bit closed off, like you need to shake it up a little bit more with the versatility in your blocked energy. Bring in some new dynamics, bring in some things that feel a little more exciting. But again, like because Mars in Cancer is feeling a little bit, it's a blow to the ego, or whatever is going on around you is challenging your ego. It's challenging your sense of worth. because you feel like some types of decisions are on the table. And again, you're not really sure whether or not to take it personally. You feel like, okay, with the world, like you feel like something's closing out, or you feel like something's going to change, or you're waiting on something and it's taking a lot longer to come in. There's that moon card. Someone's acting or being really emotional, and it's hard to understand what that is specifically, like how to interpret it, how to receive it. I think you are setting up some type of boundaries. It doesn't really look like you're doing a lot of information, like you're not really investigating. You don't really, if someone's saying this to you, you're just taking it as at face value and like moving on with your business is how this shows up. Because you feel like something is closing out, or like you have to prepare for something and ending around something, and you're putting it, I don't know. You again, like whatever this is, you don't want to look at it too closely. You might even be like kind of blindly turning an eye, but choosing to do that, not really letting someone else's emotions bother you or dictate how you show up. And that feels good. But it also feels a little ignorant. And that's where this is talking about getting a little creative. Maybe you're falling back on the same habits and patterns or ways of being over and over and over again. And now it's time to like shake things up a little bit different. But you're not feeling really motivated to, for whatever reason, like you've got everything that you need. And this is also a level of contentment within self. But what is interesting to me is how like emotional or like traumatic this is over here. And I don't even know if you're seeing that 100%, because you're just doing your own thing, right? Like you're kind of just focused in your own world, Cancer. And it does feel self-protective on some level, but you're also like protecting your peace. You're protecting the world that you've built. Also, it feels a little bit like as things progress, like this energy, it looks like they're kind of claiming back their power, or they're like removing themselves from you. And that might feel a little bit off for you, like something that you're not expecting, something that's making it harder to accept some of the terms and circumstances. It's not like you're, well, we'll see. I don't know. How is Cancer going to handle this? Someone's taking a step back, that's for sure. And vocalizing that to you. And that feels a little bit like a wake-up call. They're protecting like their energy as well. And you're trying not to take it too personally. That's like, I don't see you exiting a situation, even if someone's trying to put up boundaries. Maybe this is just for the time being, because we have the 4, 5 of swords together. And usually like that means that progress is happening, even if for a period of time, there needs to be a little bit of a break, because perhaps they're sorting out whatever this is within themselves. It's just putting a pause button on a dynamic so it doesn't get messier than what it needs to get. And maybe this is different for you, or you haven't approached it in this way in the past, or this dynamic hasn't ever requested certain things of you. But as much as you might not like it, I don't know. It's teaching you to be stronger in self. I think there is definitely some learning lesson around this. Not in a bad way, but I feel like it's like reminding you to use your wisdom. That's what I'm hearing, right? Like as much as we interpret relationships or dynamics to be certain things, sometimes someone is having a hard time and they need space, or there is a pause button, or it's just not working out how we want it to, and so we need to kind of pump the brakes on it. And I feel like it's helping you reevaluate where you're at, where you've been coming from, and how you're going to continue to proceed forward as well. And it does look like you're holding out for this energy. What's going on? Let's see what's going on with this energy over here. I.e., why patience is in the overarching energy, right? Because that's the name of the game right now. Okay, King of Swords. Someone trying to be as rational as possible with the Knight of Cups. You might even just be like offering some amount of love and someone's not really getting it, maybe they just can't receive it as the King of Swords either, because the King of Swords isn't really interested in like emotions and feelings. He's more interested in like the logical solution. And it looks like someone's making steps in order to take that approach, but that approach feels counterintuitive to you. And perhaps that's where I'm getting that head in the sand with the Nine of Pentacles. Not that that's necessarily, like the Nine of Pentacles is very much like content in self, not really needing outside sources, and especially in times when it comes to one's own health and well-being. But let's see where this Judgment's coming through the Devil. Okay. You're feeling like it's a little bit unfair. The Magician. You're feeling like it's unfair. You're feeling like someone's being sneaky. Maybe even the way that they are approaching you, it is kind of sneaky. I'm not really sure that that's the intention though, you know? Knight of Wands, King of Pentacles, and Three of Pentacles popped out. An opportunity to work on something together, but needing to be a little more balanced. Finding grounding and stability. Someone feeling like it's unfair, like getting some backlash around a dynamic that feels like it's not fair. Yeah, the Tower. The Tower, the Ace of Wands. You know, you had different ideas for how something was going to fare out, and it looks like it's just, you know, not really happening in this dynamic. And that's where versatility is really important for you this week, or the next couple weeks, because it feels like you might be a little bit tunnel visioned or stuck in a habit, in a routine, doing something over and over and over again. And yes, I feel like this thing is going to sort itself out with the Patience card, but it also looks like something that you're not putting all of your investment into at this time, because whatever is happening, someone has to sort themselves out for that to happen. And it does look like that's being communicated to you on some level. And I feel like you're okay with it. Like, I don't think, again, first channel message, you're trying not to take it personally, and you don't really want to. And I don't even think that there's a need to. I think that this is going to take some time to unfold. And like I said, there might be periods of time where you're not in communication, or communication's looking a lot different, or the relationship's looking a lot different than what you expected. But it also looks like that's just what this person dynamic needs to work through. Higher self connection. That makes a lot of sense. Connect with your higher self for greater intuitive clarity. That is also going to give you the answers, the insights that you need to not take something so personally. Because again, I don't really think it is about you. And again, you don't even want to think that. You don't want to necessarily go down that road and believe that it is either. But at the same time, you have, you know, certain desires, and you don't want to be misled. Sensory awareness. Heighten your sensory awareness. It supports your intuitive flow. So this goes back to that, like, being really present in the moment, in the here and now, and you know, like paying attention to what's getting said, right? Reverting back to that inner wisdom, to that inner sage. And if it's hard to kind of understand what someone's trying to communicate, how they think, how they feel, then yeah, maybe you do need to go get some advice from someone that you do respect, that you do trust, that you know is going to give you like good, solid, sound advice. Because it also looks like there might be more that needs to be uncovered in terms of you having awareness how to be more in tune with what is happening in the present moment in time, or in discussions, in conversations, so that you can connect with that higher awareness. That higher level of confidence is what I'm hearing as well. Energetic sensitivity. Your sensitivity to energy is your intuitive gift. Embrace it. And that's like the blessing and the curse, Cancer, right? You can pick up these subtle energy shifts, and that makes a lot of sense with how you're interpreting whatever is going on over here. Again, i.e. why you're not trying to take it personally. But at the same time, it's hard not to, you know? And the thing about the King of Cups is it's all about riding those waves of emotion, right? Being able to stay grounded, to stay balanced, regardless of what's being thrown at you or being tossed on the waves, etc. It's not easy, right? Because it does really require us to be present, to have a level of awareness and understanding of what's going on in our surroundings, who and what we're dealing with, how they're communicating, how they're showing up, someone definitely needs some space or time, and maybe that's a little hard for you to understand in this moment. Maybe it feels a little unfair even, like you've sacrificed a lot for someone, or you've given them so much, and that's why you're feeling like someone might be cutting you off or something along those lines. But at the same time, it's giving you the opportunity to see things from a more diplomatic perspective and understand, like, everybody has their own perspective, their own understanding. They received things differently. Not everything is always cut and dry, you know, and especially because we're all different people, all unique, and we all need different things as a result of it. So I hope that you're able to kind of uncover some of that, what that is for you, especially in this situation, the ways that you can show up a little bit more authentically for yourself in this dynamic, so there is the clarity and understanding that you need in order to move forward. All right, Cancer, thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear, or just connect, share, and a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support that you bring to the channel. Know that it blesses my heart, and I'm sending love and blessings back to you.